Connor and I have tied this, like I say, probably about 3 years ago. We were out on the Bow River, and a colleague of mine was out fishing, Crazy Todd, and I turned to him and I yelled across the river. I said, "Todd, what's working?" He says, "Green." So Connor and I had our fly tying kit with us on the Dodger, pulled over beside the rocks, the cliffs just down from McKinnon Flats, and ripped us off our new fly. And this fly has now become a staple in our fly box. I'd say at any given time, and here's a great example. Have a look. Here's a great example. When I say this is a staple for our fly box, this is one of many beadhead boxes we'll carry on the boat. But this little jewel sitting in this corner here, there's probably about 300 of those evil little green princes. Awesome fly. Can't buy them, you got to tie them. You go into a fly store and say, "I'm looking for an evil green prince," they're going to look at you strange. So I'm going to give you my secrets. Again, no different than what we did with other flies. We're going to start by tying off at the back. Going to go through and secure our thread. And again, very similar to the Copper John and other beadheads we've tied, we don't want to be fully reliant on the beadhead to sink us. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to secure my thread. I'm going to take a little bit of copper wire here, not too much. But what we want to do is we want to go through and use this copper wire to give us a little bit of weight. So I'm going to start at the back, roll her forward, and then just give her a bit of a snip. And again, all this is being used for is to give us a little bit of weight. Got a couple of pieces sticking up the back, and there we go. Now I'm going to anchor this on, just make sure my wire isn't moving on us. There we go, line off the back, and again, as always, start at the front, work to the back. General rule is everything that gets tied on, the last thing on, or sorry, the first thing on is the last thing off. Now here's a piece of moose hide. It's always handy to have some buddies that are hunters, and they give me a little bit of moose hair. The reason I like the moose hair is stiff. You could use a number of different fibers on this, whether it's a feather or a goose biot, but what I like to do is I like to take and tie on just some simple old moose hair. And what I'm doing here is I'm just going through getting rid of some of those white fibers. This is obviously a gray moose. And give it a snip, just clean that end up there. And all I'm going to do is tie this on. Now the thing that's neat about moose hair, if I were using deer hair or elk hair, they're hollow. And we would tie those on because we want the fly to float. In this case, we don't care. We want the fly to sink. And all I'm doing is I'm going to take now, I've got a bit of a distance here. General rule of thumb, we don't want our tail longer than the body of the fly. So as you saw there, I fold it over, give it a haircut. I want it sticking out probably about a centimeter, quarter of an inch. Give it a couple more wraps. And this fly is a quick fly to tie. But again, like all the flies that Connor and I tie, there's traditional patterns. But anything we develop tends to come off of one common pattern that we tweak. And that's the beauty of fly fishing, is you can go through and tweak your patterns. I remember a time when we were down on Bull's Head Reservoir, and Connor and I walked into a chironomid hatch. It was absolutely incredible. There were flies everywhere. Initially, we thought they were mosquitoes. So the first thing Tom and I did was we went and we locked ourselves up with some Copper Johns, landed a few monsters. Connor turns around, ties on his favorite evil green prince, bang, he's into a piggy. Have a look. My guest Tom Windsor and I have brought in some monster rainbows. Now it looks like it's Dodger Jr.'s turn. Okay, trigger and hold and reel some line and get him on the reel, bud. Rod tip high, and if you have to, you go back up the bank. There you go. Okay, just hold, reel. Come on, buddy. Rod tip high. Now walk back to the bank.
Wow.
Did you get that?
Uh-huh.
Reel. You're doing good, dude. As soon as I can see that strike indicator, I'll grab the net and go down and get him for you. Look at the size of him. Tom, I think Con's got the record for the big one so far. Okay, rod up, because as soon as he sees me, he's going to spook. There we go. Good job, buddy. Nice job. Right there, man. Good fish, bud. Okay, I want to get him back in. There he goes. Look at him go. See him, Con?
Yeah.
Good job, man. That was wild. Absolutely incredible fish from Bull's Head Reservoir. Anyways, the next step we're going to do is I'm going to dub the body. And this is the top secret component of the Evil Green Prince. What I'm going to do here is I'm now going to take and twist on some dubbing. Just slide it up to my fly. And you'll often hear people use dubbing wax and what have you just so it'll stick, but once you wrap it a couple times you get the hang of it. All I'm going to do now is I'm going to take and pull some of that off the top. I'm going to lock it in. And I'm going to slide my dubbing off. Give her a couple of real quick ties behind that bead head. And I like I said earlier, I like this product because when it gets good and wet, it fluffs up and goes fat. It looks like a little worm. Okay, I'm going to give myself my knot. And what that knot does is protects me so that if I break, I don't unwind. And now I'm going to take and just add a little bit of white goose by it. Give it a bit of a bend to find the wings I'm looking for. And I'm going to pull off the top. Bit of a snip to line them up. And then I'm going to take them and cross them over so I get a bit of an X pattern. Like so. Going to cross over. Now I'm going to tie on my wings. Start off with a loose wrap, and then tighten her up. Put my thumb on top. Give it a wrap. And again, I want to take myself a knot. Holding the fly down. The reason I do that is when I'm nipping wings, I usually inevitably end up cutting my thread off. And I give it a wrap. All I'm doing now is securing that head. 1/2 hitch. Give it a nip. 1 stray fiber there. And a small bit of head cement, which is right here. All I'm going to do is tap her on that knot. And we have ourselves the Evil Green Prince. Lethal fly.